Earlier this week, we reported that those looking to change jobs this year could reap ample rewards. According to a salary survey by recruitment firm Robert Walters, it suggests that job movers in certain industries could command a salary increment of 15 to 20% on average. But for those who stay put in their current roles, the current outlook is conservative. Recruitment firm Hayes, who polled employers here, found that more than half of them intend to raise salaries by only 3 to 6%. So to discuss the issue is David Ang from human resources consultancy firm Human Capital Singapore. So David, a pleasure having you in studio today. So, you know, that perennial question, should we stay, should we go? When we look at those kinds of surveys, should we take them with a pinch of salt?
I think it's important to look at the total number of respondents that sort of give their findings and their opinion to the survey. It is also important to look at how you digest those numbers as those findings, and at the same time dissect those numbers in order to glean whatever you want to use for your companies or for your own use.
Okay, so David, you know, salaries, let's talk about that.
Yes.
Labour movement yesterday said it expects wages to rise by about 4% this year. What's your sense of that?
Well, I think those figures of 4 to 5% seems to be, you know, the basis of all those surveys reports. But if you look at it, it is an average we are talking about that will represent the cost for the businesses. So it's very important to look at how much an employer is able to stomach this 4 to 5%. Now, on an individual basis, if you are a good performer, you can expect 8%, and if you are promoted, maybe 8–10%. But if you are given serious responsibility and higher responsibility, your reward could even be greater. But if you are a non-performer, then I think you can expect either a no increase or even a reduction in the salary.
So I guess it depends on how well you do your job.
I think it is important to see, from one angle, how can I add value in my job? How can I be more productive personally? And at the same time, how can we improve the team productivity so that, of course, the company is able to reap the benefits and the rewards in order to pay their employees.
Let's talk about job satisfaction. Singaporean workers, according to a recent survey by Randstad, said they're apparently the unhappiest in the region. 23% polled say they don't feel motivated. So looking at the big picture, have you sensed this as well?
Well, 1 in 4 is unhappy. But I think the majority of Singaporeans should be happy. You know, looking at the situation in Singapore, we have sort of predictable economic development, although it might be difficult and uncertain in the future. We have a very predictable job. We got very predictable career advancement. So I think if you look at it in that basis, majority of Singaporeans should be happy. Now compare with workers elsewhere, again, I think Singapore should be happy rather than be unhappy. But of course, there is a group of unhappy employees, mainly because they may not be the right fit for the job, or they may not have the skill set that is able to make them feel motivated to render whatever contribution they have.
So David, how should companies address this problem then? You know, how should bosses work around it so that they can retain the best talent?
I think it's important to set the direction. It's important to discuss what is expected of the individual, of the employee. And at the same time, I think a lot of communication is important. But how are you going to get engagement of these employees who are unhappy? I think the important thing is do a good sensing of what is the problem behind this particular unhappy employee. And if you can sort of extract and have a good conversation with the employee, then I think you can go about jointly in tackling whatever issues you might have in the organization.
All right. Thank you very much, David.
Yes.
Of course, always keep the channels of communication open, is what you're saying.
That's right.
Thank you very much. And that was David on the jobs and salary outlook in Singapore for 2014. Moving on.